Hey everyone, my name is Ben. Welcome to my Lizard Bites blog and YouTube channel, where I share everything with you about how I've lost 90 pounds in the last 60 weeks. One of the things that I want to get with everybody about is how to manage all of the various side effects that there are, like constipation, feeling fatigued, losing muscle, staying dehydrated. And then there's other things like hitting your protein goals, eating enough fiber, and really changing your mindset about how nutrition and eating, planning your meals works all together. And once you work on a lot of these things, you wind up losing the weight a lot easier and without any of the problems that we don't like. It's been difficult even for me to figure a lot of this stuff out because a lot of the things are hidden. The food industry tells us that the things they market to us are good. Certain juices are for diets, certain meals, eating protein is good. Oh, hamburger works. But, they don't tell you about how those additives like the textured beef, lean textured beef, whatever the name of those products are that we don't want to eat because they have cleaned the pieces with ammonia, done other things to them. I think 15, 20 years ago, they called it pink slime. We know it's not good for us. They just changed the name and remarket it back to us. Lean ground beef. Those food tricks are in a lot of the things that they give to us. Marketing juices as diet when they have added sugar. Food companies find new innovative brands that people start up, promise to make them all healthy ingredients. Once those become a household name, they buy them out for hundreds of millions of dollars and change the recipe. And we get stuck with bad health. All of my life, I've been eating the bad things that I thought were going to make me healthy, but instead I was just being a consumer, let alone from one product to the next. And I just get fatter along the way. And, society just tells us, hey, that's your fault. I really tried not taking the medication because I believe so strongly what everything was reinforcing to me in the media, how society works, that these are individual problems. If you get unhealthy and you gain weight and things happen to you, that's your fault. It's not, what's in the food because they've already decided, there's a Food and Drug Administration and other governmental agencies that, supposedly look out for us, and we have to surrender our money to them. And, they spend a lot of time building up public trust. But instead, those agencies are just revolving doors with, the commercial packaged good industries the same way it is in pharmaceuticals or energy. It winds up being, a house of corruption. So we wind up having to figure it out ourselves. 18 months ago, I was 454 pounds and I was very stubborn. I was eating everything that I thought I was supposed to be doing. I was even on a vegan diet thinking that that was better for my health, even though it's, mainly an ethical consideration. The products that they give to you are not necessarily healthy. They're some of the worst processed foods. And I had to give up the diet only because I found out that, making a lot of everything from scratch to avoid those bad ingredients. So many seed oils, added sugars, hidden things, uh, stuff that ruins your gut. I had to get away from it for a while. So I temporarily got away from the vegan diet. I had other responsibilities, other family members that are older, and I cook for them a lot as well. So I just, at my heaviest state, was not capable of maintaining it. So I wound up losing the weight probably a lot easier. I don't know, what part was, changing the diet up, what part was the medication. But there's been a lot of hurdles over the way, and I've had to solve a lot of things like chronic constipation and feeling fatigued a few times. My blood pressure went up really high because I was losing weight too fast and was also exercising and pushing it a little bit too much for post heart attack, 12, 16 months ago. So what I wanted to do was share the foods that I created, a lot of the meals and recipes and, the meal prep tips and things like that, and was all geared up to photograph and write about these things for what I was creating as a food blog. As what happens with my luck, a lot of times the kitchen decided to spring a major water leak, and we've been out the last 7 weeks trying to figure out what's next, and we still really aren't making any progress with that. So I had to shift gears and get into video production mode, which I never really had the intention of doing this myself. I was hoping to find other people or find forms of content that didn't require getting behind a camera. But here I am, and I just wanted to introduce myself and what I was doing and what we were hoping to achieve with this channel, and welcome everybody to follow along with what I got going on, because I'm at 90 pounds already now. I went from 454 to 364 now in about 60 weeks. Still kind of fat. We're a big country boy though, so we're pimping it, and I can teach you how to do the same thing. So follow along. Thanks.